Hey guys, today I want to show you how to create groupings in Power BI. So I want to start by showing you my data set to give you an idea of what we're trying to do. So I have a list of these job names and I want to group them into different job groups or job titles. And let's say I don't have a column for that. How do I add that column? There's a really quick and easy way of doing this. So if I go back into my report and I go into data set, I can find the field that I'm trying to group. In my case, it's going to be job name. I'm going to click that and I'm going to do new group. And it brings up the field and the group type, which in my case is going to be a list, and the ungrouped values. So what am I going to do? So I'm going to click the titles that I want to group first. So in my case, let's say I want to group all the managers into what's just going to be a manager position. So I'm going to select data manager. I'm holding control on my keyboard and selecting senior manager, and looks like that's it. I just have managers. I'm going to click group on the bottom right here. As you can see on the right, we now have the data manager and senior manager grouped into one. Now let's look at interns. We have finance intern, marketing intern. We're going to group them as one. We want analysts into its own group, which it looks like we just have one of those. We have one senior manager and two directors. So we now have these grouped, but instead of having them grouped as, their names, we want to change that. So by doing the double click right there on the top, so again, just to show you, double clicking that, you can rename it. So in this case, managers, in this case, intern. This one is going to be named director, analyst level, and then we have one last one, which is just senior manager. And then I'm going to press OK. And as you can see, this is now populated here to be a grouping of the job names. So that's a new column that's pretty much been added for us. And let's show you how that looks like. So if I add a table here and I add in job levels and then job names under it, and then let's add the salary. Just see what that looks like. There you go. So now it's grouping the roles on here for us, or we could even remove job name. It's going to sum up for us what is the salary for the analyst, director, intern, manager, and senior managers. This is also really helpful if you ever want to add a filter. So if I have on here the job names, and I want to add a slicer and I want the groupings as a slicer, I think that's typically in these scenarios very helpful, right? So you have the list of all the job names and the salaries, but we want to, let's just say, look at directors. I can do that by clicking director, and it will bring the groupings of everyone I have in there. So yeah, please go ahead and use the groupings. You'll definitely find it to be helpful.